No matter the endeavor, accountability is something required for sustainable and consistent success. Luckily, it can be achieved through different mediums, but a form of self-accountability is always the goal. This trait is unfortunately one I have yet to solidify for myself and has been one of my downfalls in my trading journey to date. I have no problem holding myself accountable for making mistakes. It's just kind of hard to consistently attach specific actions to make that accountability more tangible, if you will. I'm not afraid of being wrong. I just don't have a fully organized and concrete process to figure out when I'm wrong and how to move forward. I have decided to start making videos detailing my process and mindset in order to achieve this accountability and organization. So first I want to kind of summarize my strategy and a little about how it's evolved into its current form. I've been trading supply and demand for a few years now. Every version of my strategy has included some form of a break of structure, a fair value gap attached to the zone creating candle, and a 200 EMA confluence where I only take buys when trading above and I only take sells when trading below the 200 EMA. So these are the oldest rules I can find, which include a break of candle and limit order entry options. That's what the aggressive means. Multiple take profits based on structure, and a daily trade limit of 2 per day across 3 US currency pairs and the NASDAQ. I was trading from 7 to 10 a.m. Central Time when I was trading this strategy. And yeah, I quickly realized that 4 instruments was just too many. I just kind of wanted a lot of setups to show and have a lot of opportunities, but it showed to be a little too overwhelming. I took 2 of these pairs away, actually changed it up to be GU and UJ, and I filtered out certain trades to have smaller targets. I added the whole move my stop loss to break even rule when 1R in profit for specific trades. And I remember trading these rules for a while, and I found some success. I believe I was mostly trading on prop firms. I want to say I was trading FTMO at the time. But whatever prop firm or broker I was using, that ended up kind of being my downfall. I was definitely trading on MT5. But I just remember like I was supposed to be up like 6% in profit, and I only saw 3% of that in my MT5. 3% was basically taken out from commissions, which was absolutely insane. The second I saw that, I stopped trading that strategy, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know what futures were at the time, but yeah, I've since moved to futures, and commissions are no longer a problem for scalping. But futures doesn't really have the same instruments, so I kind of had to change things up. So these rules are from a few months ago when after I switched to futures. The big changes include a candle closure entry above the 13 EMA instead of a candle break, and then of course the instruments traded. But lastly, the trading window being from 8:30 to 9:30. I did not want to trade for 3 hours a day anymore. Even 2 hours is kind of pushing it. So just lower that to 1 hour. These are my current rules. They've been tweaked since a few months ago. I reduced my instruments to just oil and gold, filtered out a couple different types of trades, and created stop loss sizing rules in order to make my risk more consistent. With futures, you have to use contracts, so there really is no in between as far as amount risked. You can't customize it to the cent like you can on MT5. I have learned along my journey that I rather filter out more trades through backtesting and data analysis than kind of when I'm trading in the moment deciding, is this a good trade? No, I'm not going to take it. Because if I pass up on a good trade, it goes well, and I miss out on some profits, then I get FOMO, and I am now at risk of making bad decisions, and which creates a whole domino effect, and that's just not something I can really risk. It's the way of me avoiding that possibility. So recording your trades and journaling your performance is a process required for trading success, and it looks different for everyone. Some find comfort in just a pen and a notebook. Some like the readily available softwares like TradeZella. And some spreadsheet nerds look no further than Excel. I think Excel has the most potential for what I desire, but I'm not excited to learn it and spend hours creating a spreadsheet that may not have all of the features that I really want and I might not be satisfied with. That would just suck. I'd rather someone else's like Excel template to fall into my lap one day and I'll tweak it to my liking if that day ever comes. Right now, my journaling and recording is spread out amongst multiple mediums. I have my pen and paper journal to write. I write in this directly after a trading session. I kind of just detail a summary of what happened and if I made any decisions, and if I followed my rules. I kind of try to admit if I broke my rules there. I don't usually go into a lot of detail on how the trade went and how I managed it or anything like that, but definitely like try to summarize any decisions I've made. I also have this Canva design that I use at the end of every week to record the trades I have taken. There's two sections for every week. One is my performance and one is supposed to represent the expected performance of the strategy. So this is giving me an easy way to kind of compare my performance versus what my performance in an ideal world would have been right beside each other. I'll go into further detail as to how I performed each day. I'll kind of like give notes as far as, oh, I did this well, I managed this position correctly, but I risked a little too much on this one. Maybe I moved my stop loss a tick or two, when in reality I should have not moved it at all. There's even the takeaways banner I have to summarize what I need to pay attention to moving forward, so I can at least have something to kind of learn from for the next week and look at. Lastly, I use Airtable to record trades for the strategy at the end of every month or so. This is a platform that kind of allows me to enter these trades with customizable and separable characteristics to analyze the trades that my strategy produces. So you can kind of have different characteristics that you decide using their parameters, and you can use those to filter between different trades and really analyze which kinds of setups work and which don't work. I just really like how this interface looks, and it's not very cluttered while having a lot of features, allowing my analysis to be fairly efficient. For the most part, the trades that I record in Airtable will look identical to the trades that I enter on the Canva like expected tab. So if I were to trade the strategy in an ideal world, the Airtable is supposed to also represent that. It's just a different place for me to record the trades and actually be able to filter through them, whereas Canva is just kind of a visual. I enjoy all the forms of journaling and data collection that I have right now, but I kind of yearn for a more cohesive way of analyzing my performance. TradeZella is the only paid journaling software I've tried, but it just wasn't really good for me. My biggest issue was just how cluttered the viewing experience was for when like you click on the individual day. Like I like how they had the month calendar. It had like each day red or green and how much you made and how many trades you took and shit, but when you click on the day and you go to click on a specific trade, there was just too much going on. And then the little area where you can like place tools, like it was a mini trading view excerpt basically. It never saved for me. And so it was really annoying that I would click on the trade and I would expect to see the trading view visualization of where I drew my zone and what trade did I take on what candle, and it just wouldn't save, so what was the point of it being there then? There's a lot of things that I didn't like, small details about TradeZella, but that's kind of for another time. So from now on, I believe that creating these videos, or at least trade recaps, this is kind of an all-encompassing little summary about my strategy and how I'm going to go about this, but I believe that kind of taking the journal, the Canva design, the Airtable, all three of these and kind of putting them into one video per week will give me a more cohesive analysis of the week and will kind of allow me to hold myself accountable a little bit more. Because as of right now, I kind of do the journal every day, hold myself accountable in the moment, but it's not to the fullest extent. I could just like not write enough in the journal. And then doing the Canva design is where my second layer of accountability is. I don't always necessarily look at it again before the week starts, and I don't have it like on my computer or anything as something that I need to look at before I trade again. So the videos will kind of allow me to watch these back and decide how to move forward. And then I can maybe like put it on my whiteboard or some shit.